There's a difference between being in media and owning media, because when you control the platform, you control the narrative. Tonight's guest didn't just build a career, she built systems, platforms, and opportunities for others to be seen and heard. So tonight we're talking about power, ownership, media, and what it really takes to stay relevant while building something that lasts. Let's get into it. Smoke and Ice begins now.
Smoke and Ice with Kelly Allen. This is the podcast where you're not only informed, but entertained. Sit back, relax, and remember, where there's smoke, there's fire. And you can't chill without ice. Now, here's your host, Kelly Allen.
You have now entered another episode of Smoke and Ice, where smoke meets sophistication and ice meets intensity. I'm Kelly, and tonight's guest is a media personality, television producer, entrepreneur, and industry leader whose career spans decades across radio, television, and digital media. From South Memphis to becoming a powerful voice in broadcasting, she's worked across some of the most recognized radio stations in the region, including FM 100, Q 107.5, Hot 107.1, and multiple others, building a reputation rooted in consistency and presence. She's transitioned into television, hosting shows like Video Waves, The Radical Truth, Street Scenes, and Joy in Our Town, bringing her voice and perspective to even broader audiences. But she didn't stop at being in front of the camera. She became an owner. From launching the Tilton Entertainment Network, reaching over 1 million households, to creating Podcast Center, an innovative production space empowering others to tell their stories, just like this one here today, to owning Stamina Entertainment and managing radio stations like Bumpin' 96.3 FM and Right On Radio 87.7 AM. She has built an ecosystem, a platform, a legacy. So tonight we're talking media, ownership, longevity, and what it means to truly control your voice in this industry. Please help me welcome to Smoke and Ice, Tina Tilton. welcome. Hey!
Thank you for having me. And thank you, Denver, for inviting me.
Oh my gosh, we are so appreciative of this because your voice means so much. You're into everything that I've always aspired to be in and started being in, and so it's like you are the person that I'm after to just.
Well, when when you were saying all of those things, which were extremely accurate, so you guys have done a great job doing your homework. I didn't realize how much stuff I've already done. I did not realize that. I just do the work. Because it's called, I know I'm called to do it. That's number one.
Right.
And it's fun. And I guess when you're called to do something, it is fun. It doesn't feel like work at all.
And that's the key.
It's like, wow, I have done that. I have done that. I should. If I had a collar, I would pop it. I need to pop my collar.
Well, look, I'll pop your collar for you.
No,
when it's fun, it isn't work. And that's the thing. It's just like every time I walk into here to do whatever it is that I'm doing, it doesn't feel like work. And that you can forget the accolades that come up and the flowers that you deserve, because you're just doing the work. You're just providing something that other people love to do, and you love to do it, so you're just doing it. And I appreciate that. And thank you, Queen, because listen, one day when I grow up,
wow,
I say that all the time.
I'm just thinking like, wow, how did I do all of that?
Right. I enjoy it so much. So take me back to South Memphis. What shaped your voice and your confidence?
You say South Memphis. That's our sign.
Take me back. When you go to South Memphis, what shaped your voice? What made you who you are?
You know what? That is going to be what shaped my voice was having no voice.
Okay.
I tell you. South Memphis, if anyone is familiar with Memphis at all, South Memphis is the hood. And so, every hood has their sign. That's why I said that's ours. And so from elementary school, middle school, high school, I completed that whole community, school system. And in that school system, well, as an elementary school student, I'm just still kind of learning myself. Middle school, I kind of knew a little bit about myself, but when that high school hit, that was when the students and your peers, well, my peers, would tease me often, Kelly. They would say, listen to Tina, she's got a funny voice. Look at Tina, she's got a big nose, and things of that nature. So because of that stigma, if you will, that I temporarily accepted, then I shut down. I was like, no, not talking. I don't want to talk because I don't want to be teased for my voice. And, the looks can't help the nose. God made it. But, I just didn't put myself out there to be seen or heard much at all. Even though I knew inwardly I loved theater. That was my minor in high school. I loved to talk. I love to play pranks on people. I know that's kind of odd, but I do. I love to play pranks on people. And so with those things being said, I know I need a voice. I need to be heard. I need my voice heard. I need to be even seen. So coming out of high school, going to college, and I did graduate from Lambeth University in Jackson, Tennessee, with a bachelor's degree in mass communications. Yeah, I had the nerve to take mass communications. I'm like, I'm gonna get out of this shell because again, it's in me. But just hearing what I like to sometimes say what the enemy says, and believing that lie at my earlier stage in life, it's like, no, that's not who. If I would have listened to him, he would have shut me up, and none of those accolades that you just mentioned would have ever been accomplished. But nonetheless, as I went to college, listening and learning how to really find myself, embrace who I am, embrace my strange or unique voice, and embrace my big nose, if you will, and put that nose on camera, I'm like, you know what? Hey, I can do this. I think I like this. But I'm gonna tell you who really sparked my interest in this communications field, and you are not gonna believe it. I don't even know if you're old enough to remember this, Miss Kelly. Do you remember Video Soul?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yes, I do.
I know Denver does. Let me
Donnie Simpson. Stop it.
Yes, Donnie Simpson. Yeah.
I would stay up so I could watch it because he came on a little bit later, in the evening on BET. But I would watch him because I enjoyed, first of all, the content that was brought, our music. Yeah. And it was what we're doing right now. We're talking about, each other, and we're introducing each other to ourselves, stuff that wasn't happening because MTV wasn't interested in anything we had to do at that time.
At that time.
So yes.
No, Michael broke those barriers, but Video Soul was definitely for us, and it was first. Mm-hmm. And so I remember being kind of frustrated, if you will, in college, sitting in the lobby, pondering what am I going to do with my career, with myself, because I'm a sophomore in college at this point. In my junior year, I've got to make a decision on what my major will be. Mm-hmm. And I do remember going to TV stations, and the people were teaching us how to be a salesperson, how to be a newscaster, sports. I was like, don't know sports. I'm not good at that at all. Weather, please don't ask me my 50 states. I don't know where's raining at. I was like, the news, I was like, I cannot and I choose not to announce that a child has been shot. I'm like, I just don't have that personality. Plus, I have a bubbly personality, and I just didn't know what to do with myself. So I found myself discouraged with the whole media thing. And I said, I don't know what to do. I'm sorry, that happened after my junior year in college. And I sat there and I went down to the lobby one day and I watched Video Soul. Oh my goodness, everything, bam, it lit up for me. I'm listening and I'm watching Donnie Simpson interview Snoop Dogg. He was a new artist at that time. And I'm going, I think I got it. I can do that. I can interview celebrities. And so I'm still on television. I still have my voice heard, and but I'm not doing the news. I'm not a news personality at all. And so I set my sails and my eyes out to do just that once I graduated. But of course, anyone knows that once you graduate college, you chances are you will not immediately hop right into your career.
Right.
It just doesn't.
Because it's not what you know, it's who you know at times.
It is what you said. Because unfortunately, I pledged a sorority. Please guess the right one, Kelly. Come on.
My daughter, well, we'll talk about that later, but my daughter wants to do the same. So we'll talk about that off air because we don't want to air. Yeah.
Understood. Okay.
Yes.
And fortunately, she knew someone over at one of the local TV stations, and they did hire me for some type of assistant or whatever. Of course, I took it. But that was a great decision that I made because that was the start of my career. Because a gentleman, one of the ladies who worked there, she was an account exec. Her husband was a newfound videographer. He had a camera, but he didn't have a host. So I'm just going around asking people, do you know anybody that has a video camera that can record me so I can have my own video show? I mean, I'm just bold at 20-something years old, asking around.
And you have to be. And let me tell you something. First of all, you're beautiful. Let's start there. But people, especially when you're coming up in school, anyone who sees a light in you will try and dim that light. So what people were doing to try and shut you down were just trying to stop you from excelling to where you're supposed to be. And luckily, you came into your own. It took college, but you came into your own. So that's okay. So with you starting in radio, the 90s, what was the industry like then, especially as a woman coming into the space?
Good question, because in the 90s, I did go from again, being that TV assistant, and there was a gentleman that asked me, he was a DJ, and he asked me, he said, Tina, what do you want to do with your life? Because certainly you did not get a college degree to just file papers for us. And I said, well, I want to be on TV and radio. And he told me how to get on TV. Ended up, I got video waves maybe 2 years after he shared with me how to get my own local cable access, community access music video show. But just so happened that same year, 1997, Hot 107 signed on as a radio station, a hip-hop radio station, the very first one in Memphis. And the program director saw me. He was flipping through the channels, saw this little girl on this TV show and was like, oh, I think she'll make a great asset. And I came in there. Oh, I was horrible too, Kelly. I was horrible because I couldn't figure out in my mind how to go from being on television, seeing myself like now, to not seeing myself and it's just me and headphones and a microphone. And let me break in real quick, because my first time when I started on internet radio, I was only doing jingles. I was a jingle girl. Okay. It wasn't to do a show. And we had someone that was supposed to come in and do the middays. And when I was in the studio, we were all sitting there, and the producer said, well, why don't you try it? And I did it, and I thought, oh, okay, well, this is comfortable, but this is not my position. This is this person's position. And they were taking so much time to come in. It was just time to fill the position. So it was brought to me to say, well, Kelly, why don't you do it? And I was like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. So I scripted out everything. So when you talk about horrible, I scripted out everything to the point where, when you're used to reading stuff, it comes naturally. But when you're not, it sounded like I was reading. And I'm like on air going, so thank you for joining me today. It just was horrible. And I'm going, oh my gosh, is this going to work? But here's the beautiful thing. They kept us. They kept you. They kept me in spite of, because they saw something in us. And I'm so grateful for that. Wow.
Yeah. So I get it. I get it totally. That's why when you said that, I'm like, I can relate to that, because when you're new to something and you're not comfortable with it, it feels weird. And you're trying to find your own, you're trying to find your voice. And until you learn those things, like talk to like you're talking to your friend, not friends, but your friend,
Correct.
And things like this, and making it personal, then you actually engage the audience.
I don't know
And
how
so,
you guys did it, but back in the day, the old school way, they had that one person. Hot 107 was I think at the time, it probably was female demographic. So we had this picture of one black lady, who we were supposed to be looking at as we're talking, so that it could mentally put us in the mind frame of, you're talking to that one person.
right.
It's her. And, don't veer to the left, don't veer too far to the right, just keep talking to her. And with that helped me out a lot.
Well, at least you had a person to look at. I had to say, you're talking to one person. That's it. Just talk to that person.
We had a picture.
Because, we always would say, hey, guys. And it's like, no, not guys. It's that person. One guy. One guy. One girl.
But you know what, though? If you listen like I do, they don't really do it anymore.
No.
People, y'all, and everyone, hey, everybody, yada, yada. And I'm like,
right.
No, just, hey,
it's a completely,
just one person.
Yeah, it's a completely different, and it takes away, but we also have to realize that times have changed and people have changed.
Yes.
No one wants to feel personal anymore. They just want to be entertained.
Good point.
And that takes away from it, but we'll get back to that in just a moment. So I want to talk about your transition a little bit, because we talked about you starting in television when you were had your first person who put you on. And then you went into radio, and then now you transitioned into television, because this is where you really expand. You made your move from radio to television. And what pushed you into television, back into television? Because it sounds like you started there, and then right. So I have to say back into television.
well, the second time that I got into television, I was actually on camera that time, and so again, the first time I was just an assistant, again, like the man said, filing papers. But the second time, I definitely was an on-air television personality for the Trinity Broadcasting Network. I hosted a show for them for 8 years that was called Join Our Town, and it dealt with a lot of good things that were happening in the community. And unfortunately, that show, the owners passed. And then, so I had to make a different move, make another transition. But, what I'm grateful to God is that He's taught me how to flow, if you will. When as Ludacris said, when I move, you move, because that's what it feels like. It feels like He moved, and I was like, okay, I'm going to move with you, just like that. Because it's like, well, I don't have any control over that closing, but I have this radio and television background. What do I do now? And then hence, bing, the podcast center was born, because podcasting was starting to become popular. And I'm like, you know what? I might be on to something. However, it wasn't very popular when I had the ding idea, because because it wasn't so popular prior to 2020, I was actually, get this, Kelly, I was a substitute teacher.
And you know what? That we have to do that sometimes, because I got I got something I got to do too, to make sure that I can make sure all my bills are paid, and that I can live some sort of a lifestyle that I want to live.
Sure.
But before we get into podcasting too much, because prior to then you were the owner and the operator of the Tina Tilton Entertainment Network, the TTEN.
Oh, you're right. I'm all out of order. You're right.
Right. No, and that's fine. That's fine. I'll bring you back. Because if not, then it's going to mess up my questions. No, I'm joking.
Tina, stick to the script.
Right.
Stick to the script. Okay.
Spend a lot of time. No, but seriously, from 2014 to 2018, you've taken this on, and it's so amazing, because you put yourself in a position where, and I'm gonna go off script if we're talking about scripts, right? I was watching, as I'm writing this, I'm watching your evolution and who you are, and how your tenacity, and how you say, if this door closes, I got another one that I'm going to open. Not that's going to open for me, I'm going to open it. So to create your own network, that takes a lot. That takes a lot of time, energy, blood, sweat, and I know tears to make that happen. And then to be able to reach millions of households. And I'm the internet and information will say is just Memphis, but I know it had to spread past that, because when we're talking about millions, that's more than just one city, as big as Memphis is. So which is it's a complete different level from where you were, and a different control of what you have. So how did you make that happen? How was that for you?
And because I had forgotten, you're absolutely right. So after I left, or not left, but after the doors closed at the Trinity Broadcasting Network, I did go into the school system still, but at that point, I was a pre-K assistant.
Okay.
Thanks to my mama. She says, well, baby, you know you need some money, and there always be children in the school, so you may want to consider going, teaching, because my mom is a retired teacher.
So is my mom. Look, see, we're so on the same.
No wonder. Yeah. And I listened to her, and I got myself in that school system working as a pre-K assistant and teaching 4-year-olds their names and letters and stuff. But still, I'm going to say this, something inwardly was like, you don't belong here. You've got to get back into what you were called to do. So one day, those children were napping. I had a desire to go online, and I went on the internet to find television stations. And I said, because at this point, I've already hosted shows. I want to be an owner now of a television network. What do I do? What do I do? Where do I go? And I found one, and it happened to be in Memphis, Tennessee. And it also happened to be the same radio station that I worked for a few years back. And I said, oh my goodness, I'm going to contact them. And I contacted them. Of course, they remembered me. I remembered them. And ironically, I signed my name on the dotted line 2 months after I found out I was pregnant, or 3. Oh, wow. And I was put on medical leave because I was an older mama. And they told me I had to sit down. Not sit down, sit down. You got to sit down because if you don't, you're going to lose this baby.
Right.
You're high risk. You're 42 years old. You're going to lose this baby. You got to sit down. And I said, oh my goodness, I just signed for this television station. I got to, okay. I said, okay, God, well, I tell you what, I can't run with the vision like I originally thought I could, but I said I can sure enough crawl. And that's what I did, Kelly. I crawled my way into, it took longer for me to get where I thought I should have been. But at the same time, I mean, it's kind of funny. I had people recording out in my house and everything. Like, here go a TV show. Here, I want you to do this TV show in this corner. I'm going to have you do this TV show over here. I need you to do a show. I had people all in this house doing shows so that we could air on this particular entertainment network, because we filmed, we played local movies, shows, just everything local. Everything was local on that show.
But that vision was given to you, and you were able to do it, whether you had to crawl, walk, and not run. We're going to say not run because you was pregnant. But you gave other people a voice. So you were that platform for other people to be able to give their talent as well. And that's such an amazing, amazing thing. And you're still actively producing and distributing content today. So let me ask you this question. What did television give you that radio couldn't?
I would say the confidence, even though, because I think I needed both, because being in high school where I was shot down by both, by audibly and visually, the television and that camera gave me both. Like, no, your voice can be heard, and your face can be glamorous and is. So
that part.
And so it gave me, seriously, it gave me the confidence. Television gave me the confidence that I don't think radio could have done alone had I only gotten into radio.
Wow. And more importantly, how did your approach to storytelling, evolve once you stepped in front of the camera and into full production? Did you find that you had a bigger voice than what you already had versus radio?
You know what? I didn't do so much storytelling, and still don't. We've got a team for that. I am so talented, and you just tell me what to say, and I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna stick to my script. Okay. I find it a lot easier to be in your shoes than it is to be in mine. I love doing the interviewing, but to be interviewed, All right, Tina, take a deep breath. Give me a bourbon, give me a cigar, even though I don't drink or smoke, but I'm just saying, like, oh boy.
Well, let me tell you, you're doing a great job. And talking about the bourbon and cigar, we're going to take a quick break, but we'll get back to it in just a moment. All right, we're going to pause this conversation for just a moment because this right here is what makes this show what it is. This is Smoking Ice, right? So let's get into the experience. Tonight, we're featuring the Bardstown Bourbon Company Origin Series. And this one is all about balance, precision, and a modern take on tradition. What makes this bourbon stand out is its high rye mash bill, which brings a different kind of energy to the glass. Something a little brighter, a little more expensive, right? On the nose, you pick up light fruit, vanilla, a subtle floral note with just a hint of citrus that gives it a fresh, inviting opening. But once it hits your palate, wow, that really opens up. You get layers of caramel, honey, and soft oak, followed by the signature rye spice. Not overpowering, may I say, but present enough to give it a character and a little edge. It's smooth, it's balanced, and not boring. And the finish? Let me tell you, it's clean, slightly spiced with a light sweetness that lingers just enough to keep you coming back for another sip. This is one of those pours that doesn't try too hard, it just delivers. And that's exactly what I appreciate here on Smoking Ice. So we're getting ready to pour. Let's pour together. If I can get it open. Cheers. And might I say, right when you take the first sip of this, you not only smell the caramel, but you taste it. It's a sweetness that even without recognizing it, because it's subtle, I don't like sweet anything, nothing. But it's so subtle that as you bring it up to your mouth, your sensory, they kick in and you get that caramel on there. You get that vanilla. I guess it's the fruit on it. I don't know. I'm not getting that, but definitely the caramel and vanilla. And I like this. It's not bad. And I never do mine on the neat. It's always on the rocks, but it's not bad. So I'm believing, I have faith that if it's something that you like to do neat, that you will enjoy it. So let's go ahead and add the cigar into this because that is what we do here, because we are called Smoke and Ice. So let's bring the smoke. Tonight's featured cigar is the Carolina Native Cigar, San Andreas Maduro. This is a full-bodied experience. Right from the first draw, you get deep earth, rich cocoa, and that signature Maduro sweetness, balanced with a bold natural spice that builds as you go. It's a cigar that with presence. Come on now, it's a Maduro, and that's what it does. It's smooth but confident, and when you pair that with the bright spice and balance of the Bardstown Origin Series, come on now, it creates a contrast that just works. And boy, does it work. I've had it, and that's why I'm bringing it to you. Bold meets refined, smooth meets expressive. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna light, and then I'm gonna give you my flavor science. So let's go ahead and light. Woo, this is smooth. Let me tell you. But let me tell you how it meets. So what's my flavor science? We've got a high rye bourbon that brings a brightness and spice. We've got a Maduro cigar that brings depth and sweetness. One cuts, the other smooths, and together they balance each other out. That's when you know you've got the right pairing. Not when they taste the same, but when they balance each other out. That's the difference between just smoking and sipping and actually experiencing it. And that's what we do here on Smoking Ice. That's what we're all about. Great conversation, a smooth bourbon, and a perfectly paired cigar. Because when everything comes together like this, it's not just something you watch, it's something you feel. All right, well, let's get back into this conversation because this one is good. And I'm going to appreciate my cigar. Hi, I'm Kelly Allen. Join me each weekday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. for Midday Energy Rush on Positive365.net. I'll bring you all your favorite music from every genre and every decade, plus comedy and positive thoughts all in one place. Go to Positive365.net and you won't be disappointed. That's Positive365.net. We're positively different. Positively different. And we're back with Tina Tilton. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Yes, so much. So with all those different types of shows, music, business, community, faith, how do you decide what stories are worth telling and what is TV worthy in your world,
In my world. Oh, wow. You know what? Because we provide more of a service, we don't really get to make those calls. We allow our clients to make the call on how they want to, what the content of their show should be. And so we just kind of help them bring their vision to life. Again, when it comes down to me, I don't story tell. They tell me what to say.
Yeah, and I asked that question because a lot of people can create content, but not everyone knows how to create something people actually want to watch. And so a lot of people want to know what's the difference. Like anyone can come to you and say, I want this out there, but what is actually going to create people being interested in watching?
Oh, well, you know what? I think I still would have to stick with, they do typically come to us with their own content ideas. However, I can say this. I do work closely with a young lady named Christy Taylor, and she's over her own. She has a consulting company, Christy Taylor Consulting. And she is the one that truly has the storytelling antennas, because that lady there you can give her a sentence and she can take that sentence and create an entire content story for you.
Gotcha.
And then we on the other end will take that story and produce it and distribute it.
Okay. So I want to bring it back to you just a little bit, because a lot of people stay talent. They say, well, this is my lane. I wanted to stay in front of the camera. I don't want to do anything else.
Yeah.
But you became ownership. What was the moment that you realized that you needed to build your own platform?
Oh, wow. Getting fired. There's nothing like getting fired when you're like, hey, I know what I'm doing. So I tell you what, I'll start my own. And That's exactly, I'm laughing, but that's exactly what happened after being let go from the radio station due to they were starting to hire a lot more nationally known personalities. And
let's stop. Not nationally known personality. They were starting to hire actors that would pull in, because they weren't personalities that were on radio, because we lost, and I don't take this away from anybody. We lost all of those DJs and those people that we grew up with, but we say, oh my gosh, their voice. Now it's somebody who's made movies, they're comedians, they're this, and I don't take that from them, but it's not anymore that talent. It's because you have it's not localized. It's because you have the talent, and you have the talent in your genre that we want to bring to our radio station, and which takes a lot of jobs from people who are actually great personalities on radio. Yeah.
I was one of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. and so just dealing with that and again the closing of the television stations and things of that nature, I'm like, you know what, I am going to put myself in a position where I do not have to answer to anyone but myself. especially when it comes to a person. I will answer to myself, and whatever me, myself, and I, with the strength of God, does. That's the reward, whether it's financial or whatever. That's the reward that I'll receive, and I'm okay with that platform.
Yeah, I like that, and I appreciate you for that. I mean, because you built multiple ventures. We talked about TTEN, the podcast center, which for people who are watching, it's not just a podcast center. It is fitted for radio and television production. So you created a space for people to just be who they are, who they want to be, and what they have to present, which is amazing. We've got radio stations. We've got Stamina Entertainment Venue space, which is, if you want to rent out baby shower, wedding, whatever, like you've created an ecosystem of whatever we need. You have. Yes. And that's just so amazing. So how do you think about building businesses that connect with each other? Like, how did you decide that you were going to do it? Because people might think they don't intertwine, but they actually do.
They do. And in the words of my candy lady, one at a time. So, because when I was a child, she used to say, one at a time, boys and girls, one at a time. So I built those things one at a time. She was way too proper. But nonetheless, when the podcast center opened, or when we launched the podcast center, again, I was subbing. That's when I was no longer a pre-K assistant, because I had my daughter. And at that point, I was like, I cannot stay in a building for 7 hours. I need to have flexibility. Right. And as a substitute teacher, you get a chance to pick and choose what days you want to go in, what school, so on and so forth. And I was able to do that while stacking my paper and buying equipment piece by piece, just little at a time, because I knew one of these days I'm going to get an office, I'm going to get a space, and then I'm going to operate and offer people audio and video production. Mm-hmm. And lo and behold, 2020 came. I was ready. We did a launch in February. February 2020. Like, hey, Podcast Center is open. You can come here for all of your audio video needs. March 2020. The world is closed.
the world
you ain't
is
doing
closed.
nothing until because the world is closed.
Right.
That's not. Oh no! What do I do now? So we sat there for like 7 months, for real, trying to figure out what to do and what this COVID was, and just how do we play, who's essential. I just was baffled. And then I realized, I said to myself, you know what? Hey, I'm media. How am I not essential? So I'm going to get my tail right back in my studio that I just leased and signed off on and launched in February, and I'm gonna get myself in there and I'm gonna start offering people an opportunity to come in here, mask up. We'll have masks on, and y'all come in here and record your shows.
Right.
And when I say your shows, at that time we were strictly only doing television.
Right. That you were a part of the evolution into seeing visual, because let's be real, podcasting, which wasn't called podcasting until about 2024. I mean, excuse me, 2004. Let me clarify that, because I'm all messed up here. But in the 80s, it was audio blogs, and people were doing audio blogs. Yeah. And then it kept going, and then it kind of got digital about 2000, and then someone decided in 2004 to call it a podcast. But it was still not visual. It was still, you had to subscribe. Audio. Yeah, you still had to subscribe to something. You had to pay for it at that time. It wasn't free, so you could only hear them if you decided to pay for it. And then around the time when you decided to also get into it, that's when it started to evolutionize. So you're in the forefront of people actually being visual, which you are a part of that, the pioneer to say it doesn't have to just be audio. Yes, we went from this thing that was only on radio to digital. Now you can get it on different platforms, but now we're making audio, and you were the pioneers, one of the pioneers, to say you don't have to just not be seen. You could be seen and heard.
Well, the Podcast Center actually, you know what? It actually did not start out with being a podcast center. Let me backtrack. It actually, the name of my company at that time when I was doing audio video production was Tina Tilton Productions. And we were solely focused on television.
Okay.
And so when COVID hit, we had a lot of pastors to come in, and we had ministries, just people of the faith that could no longer connect with their congregation, by law, because the world was shut down, and we were able to offer them that visual streaming type of platform that they did not know how to do or have the equipment to do at all. So we were in a very unique place, and then we took the visual and we placed it on Comcast, which is one of our long-standing partners, because we've been licensed to distribute content on Comcast since 1997. Yeah, long time.
Wow, and that's beautiful. That's beautiful, because from 1997 up until the world shut down, now it became even more important to have that partnership with them, to be able to give more people the ability to come in. So not only did it help you, but it helped them. So it was a symbiotic type of thing. So I love that. And so about 2019 is right when you started seeing the shift with how that was going, because 2019 was a little bit before COVID. But getting started, we all know that there's a process. And then about 2020 is when COVID hit and kind of shut down everything. So you gave people the opportunity to not just record, but you gave people the ability to build their brands, whether it was from a church or something else. So you making the time to say that was, I'm not even gonna say you made the time. It was purpose for you to make the time for that, because once that, you had the ability to give people that voice, that platform. And that's so amazing. I don't even think I have a question out of that, because I thought I had one, but I don't need more, because now it's just like it's a whole.
I can tell you where I went after that, because once we were doing the video recording and placing those videos or those shows or those content shows on Comcast, one of our personalities said, "You know what, Tina, I've always wanted to be on radio. Do you think that you can use your connections, go back to the radio station that you came from, and ask them, could I place my entertainment show on their radio station?"
Wow.
And I said, I don't know. Let me ask. And lo and behold, I asked, and this is when I found out that the company had launched not 2 months ago, or 2 months prior to her asking that question. The company had launched their throwback hip hop and R&B radio station called the Bumpin' 96.3 FM. I'm like, oh my goodness. So that was August 2023. By October 2023, I had a conversation with the owner, and the owner was like, "Hey, do you think that your personalities would be interested in airing their shows on radio too?" I said, "I don't know, I can ask." And when I started to ask the people, the answer was yes. And by December 2023, we had about 15 personalities on the air that are leased. They are leasing their airtime from the radio station. So the radio station is actually making money from their weekly hour-long weekly radio show, podcast, or whatever you want to call it.
And it takes a person like you to know that creators are going to need more than just a microphone. They're going to need a platform, and you provided that platform for them, which was so amazing. Because there's so many voices that need to be heard, but they just don't know how to do it. And this goes to say what we said earlier. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And so that always plays a part in that. So what separates someone who's just recording content from someone who's actually building something that can scale and be taken seriously?
Themselves. They have to put in the work, because as I share with them, our job at the Podcast Center is simply to provide quality audio and video production. Whatever you do with it after that is on you. But if you want it to scale, you're going to have to put in the work. We do provide you with, because even the personalities that we have on the station, they're given access to the full library of the radio station, so they could go in there and pick any song that they want. They don't have to even go to YouTube and think about nothing. Nope, you've got it right there at your fingertips. Go to the library, pick a song, and place it in your show. And they also have access to the station's social media pages. Post. But if you don't post, people may not know that you're there. Yes, you're on the website, because we do put their pictures up on the website and their names and the name of their shows. But you do have to do extra work to make sure that you're just not this little fish in the big old sea. You've got to make your splash big. Yeah,
there's a big
fish in a little pond.
Yeah, we know this now because there's so many people trying to do the same thing, but it's just about what you do that makes you special. But let's take this a step further, because you've lived in all three worlds: radio, television, and now podcasting. So what I want to ask you directly is, which one actually has the most power today?
Power today, it's going to be podcasting. It's going to be the podcasting. And that's because, again, I really do thank COVID, because it allowed me to not even go back and sub no more, Kelly. I didn't have to go back and sub no more. It had taken off. It had taken off so well that it was like, hey, no need of going back there. I got a job. I'm making money on my own at this point. And it's just been overflowing ever since then. But yeah, definitely, because ever since COVID, everyone has found their voices. Even if they kind of don't have one, they have found something to say. And they want to say it. And they want to say it audibly, and most times lately, visually.
Yeah.
Here we go. We are.
With all that being said, do you feel like radio is losing its relevance, or is it just evolving into something different?
Oh, good question, because we just did a recent survey on that, and it said that 97%, I think it was 97%. Ooh, Tina, maybe that number may be too big, but whatever it was a huge number still. And it said that radio is still king, even though people want to disqualify it and say, it's whatever, so on and so forth. No. Even our personalities that has the option to be on, to upload their content to Spotify, which is a big name, to YouTube and all these other big digital platforms. When it boils down, they'll tell me, I'm choosing this because I still want to be on an FM radio station. They want to be on radio. Because FM radio does still have power. It carries power, and it is definitely still king. I wish I had that specific number with me, but I know that survey was just taken in 2024.
Wow, awesome. And I can appreciate that. I don't know if I completely agree, but that's okay, because sometimes we have to disagree. And that's only because I do a lot of traveling. So if I'm in the car, I love my local FM stations, but once I get out of that region, I don't know the other stations. So guess what? I go to satellite radio, or I go to my iTunes or something like that to continue playing. So I do love FM radio. I do.
Understood. Well, what? Most FM stations should have a streaming site. They should be streaming, so you could pick them up and hear them in your car anywhere you go.
Who's going and saying, okay, well, I'm going through this city, so what station is next? Not most people are doing that.
Well, I don't know, because now that both of our stations are on the iHeartRadio app, and we've been on there for about
iHeartRadio is part of the SM series. So guess what? I probably listen to it because it's a part of the satellite radio, which I do listen to once I'm on the road. So yes, then I'm a part of that. But if I get too far out and I don't know, then of course I'll go over to my iTunes or whatever else. But that's neither here nor there. But does television? So we're gonna get out of podcasting and music and radio. Does television still hold authority, or is digital taking over? What do you say?
Oh boy. Oh wow! But you know what? Just found some new numbers just about a week ago, if I'm not mistaken. Prior to a week ago, I would have answered and said the digital.
Okay.
Well, you know what? And it still may be digital, but I'm gonna tell you what my consultant oh, I'm so sorry. Excuse
No
me.
problem.
What my consultant just found a week ago was that the influencers that are creating these content shows that are having huge numbers on YouTube, they are now, I don't think it's selling, but somehow, some way, they are now pitching their shows to the television networks.
Wow.
And now they are wanting to be on television. Yes, I have the document. She texted me that information about a week ago. And I looked at that and I was like, wow. So now they are branding both of their, hey, we're on YouTube and we're on this particular large network, because this is where we really want to be anyway, but we had to use YouTube to get there. I get it.
I mean, YouTube has been the catalyst or the platform for a lot of people to become what they are, whether they're stars in music or whatever. But that helps me transition into my next question, because do we feel like podcasts or these digital platforms are the future, or is it just a moment? Are we going to go back to television?
I'm going to say it's just a moment, because it's being proven now. These people are, she sent me over 3 different articles of these YouTube series that have had large numbers on YouTube, but now they have launched television shows on these major networks. And think about it too, Kelly, these major networks are closing down their production studios, and unfortunately people are out of work, and but they still have this network of which they need to fill time slots with. And so if you've got these producers or these influencers that already have a fully produced show, sure, we'll put you on our network. We'll make some kind of partnership with you. I don't know, again, if the influencers are buying the airtime, or if they're making a partnership, or if the network is paying them, don't know. But whatever it is, it does not require production. It does not require a production studio. It's already done.
Right, because everybody's doing stuff, off and not going into these big studios. So do you think that creators should focus on more building their own platforms, or leveraging existing ones to grow faster?
Oh, I'm gonna always say, do your own. Whatever that takes, whatever that looks like, whatever sacrifices that need to be made, do your own. Make your own way. Make your own path, because there's a path out there that hasn't been made. And even if it has been, whatever your unique thing that you'll be bringing to it, do that. So make your own. I'm not a fan of trailing somebody, obviously. I'd rather pave my own way.
You sound just like me a lot, but I still have to ask these questions because some other creators will be watching. So is it important for the content, or is it to be able to distribute? Because sometimes your content may not make it. It might not be something that someone who would pick you up would want. But do you stick true to yourself, or do you just say, let me do what you want me to do so that I can be distributed? What would you do?
Ooh, now there may be a time or two when you may have to pivot and make some changes. Listen to the suggestion of someone that could help elevate or scale your business. So be open-minded to those suggestions, because they do exist. Even with me being the visionary of these particular entities, I still have 2 people, Christy Taylor and Howard Q, that I lean hard on and respect and value their opinion on. What do y'all think? Now, this is what I see, but what do y'all think? But at the end of the day, like I share with them, and they know, the ultimate decision lies with yours truly. So, if I feel at peace with what they've given me, I'll take that different route. But if I see something, and it's been proven, even though sometimes it has not set well with them, but I told them, and every time I've been right. And I'm not trying to be, right. I'm just saying, like, I told y'all, like, this is what I sense. This is what I feel. And I would almost say, obviously this is a feeling type of thing, type of universe, type of, if you're in alignment, you'll be able to feel what is right or what is not so right. You know what I'm saying? So,
and with you saying things that are not so right, a lot of people are creating content but not making money out of it. And the whole goal when you post something is to eventually make money out of it. Mm-hmm. So what do you think that is missing when it comes to turning media into business? Where's the miss?
It could be the content itself, because not every content, not everything that's produced is something that people want to see or hear. Mm-hmm. That would be my answer. So again, this is where you would probably need an extra set of ears to kind of pivot and see what am I lacking because I'm not making money here? What am I missing? And it could very well be the distribution. Like, are you sharing enough? Are you putting it in the proper places where it can be seen and heard, or enough places where it can be seen and heard? I guess it varies.
No, I get that. And as a woman myself, and you as well, and you're leading in media, okay? And I love that. I just got to say that I love that. You're leading in media and ownership and production. Forget that. I need to make sure I get all of them in there. What challenges did you face while you were trying to come up in this today?
I guess one of the things is probably always going to be finances. It's always a financial challenge, especially with even with the mindset of people having that radio is on the verge of or is on life support, if you will. And so we get a lot of that out here in the streets when we're trying to partner with businesses or something like that. Like, hey, well, no, I'm on social media now and I get my stuff, I advertise on Facebook and so on and so forth. It's like, okay, but keep in mind, because this is both of the stations, they are nostalgic stations, and a lot of our listeners are not on social media. Why? Because they don't want to be. This was not this ain't their ministry, as I try to tell people. This ain't their ministry.
Right.
This is the 30, 40, maybe even 40 and under ministry. If you're targeting someone my mom's age, 70 years old, 65-ish and stuff like that, it's like,
they don't care nothing about social media.
They don't even have a page. Correct.
Nope.
So if you're wanting them to know that you got some new hearing aids out, then you need to put that on the radio.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, because listen, even me, there's certain things I don't want to have to go, because you have to, with social media, you have so much valid and then more invalid information, or more fraudulent, or more stuff that just ain't gonna work. And so now you have to figure out how to fish through that stuff. If you need a radio, because you've got to be vetted to do that. Going on social media, you can post whatever you want. You can say the sky is purple and they'll let you post it on social media. But if you're coming to radio, they have to know that you are who you are. So radio still holds a great thing, and I was going to say, and it's called a violation, because if anything that's inappropriate or inaccurate, it's a violation, and exactly.
Hence the reason why we have to pay for media insurance to cover things like that. Social media does not have to have that.
It does
Internet,
not.
digital platforms does not have to have that. So yeah, you can get on there. I can get on a platform all day long. It's a digital one, and hey, I'm Tina Tilton and I'm a doctor, so take your vitamin B today, or stop taking vitamin B because it's no longer good for you. No, that's wrong. and I'm not a doctor.
And I'm so glad you said that, because so many people are so into this microwave mentality that we have, that we're so used to just taking what someone says as being a doctrine, and it's not. And radio actually has to be licensed, like you said, or insurance wise, to be able to say certain things, because they're liable. So that means so much. So listen, I could keep you all day, because you and I, we're here, right?
Yes, we are. Yes,
we're here. But when it's all said and done, what do you want your name to represent?
I would like for the name Tina Tilton to represent legacy, especially media legacy. And I've shared that with my daughter. She's 11 years old. And I said, baby, mommy is doing all of this right now for you. because growing up in the hood, South Memphis, like I said, my parents, I mean, love them. They just didn't have the income, to fund anything that I'm doing. So right now I'm finding out what my daughter likes. What does she want to do? So she's sharing with me that she likes to dance and she wants to write movies. So, okay, now mommy knows, okay, we're going to create a bank account, a savings account, so that when you get of age, you can take that money and you'll have some type of seed money.
See, I knew we were on the same page because my baby has written books and movies. So they need to talk. And she's in her freshman year in college right now. So she's been doing it and she still loves it. Yeah, we'll talk. Wow. We'll talk. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
But before we close out, we've got one more segment. This is a Smoking Ice Hot Seat. And so what I wanted is just quick answers, no thought, just questions, nothing hard because I don't do drum, okay? But radio or TV, what's the best?
TV.
TV, all right. Ownership or influence?
Ownership.
One word that defines your career?
Media.
Biggest risk you've ever taken?
Got married.
Okay, we'll talk about that later too. One moment you almost quit?
Ooh, wow. You said no thought. Ooh.
Just whatever comes to your mind.
You know what? Okay, when my mom got ill. Because other than that, I really don't quit, Kelly. I just find a different way to do the same thing. I don't quit.
I love that answer. And I love that. I love that. What keeps you going?
Purpose.
Okay. And one mistake new creators make?
Bad quality.
All right, I got a couple more. If your life was a brand, what's the tagline?
Holy and hip.
Legacy or success?
Legacy.
Perfect. And what do people misunderstand about Tina Tilton, the beautiful Tina Tilton?
That I'm always happy.
We do have our down times. I get that. You know what? I get that. But it's a good thing that you show people that, because then they don't see anything else. You can handle that in the back time, whenever, but they always know that you're happy and you're smiling.
Look, wrong day, wrong time. Every blue, seriously, Kelly, and I think everyone may have this. Every blue moon, I'll have that moment where it's like, look, look, and whenever I do something, for example, I was in the parking lot one day of a store, and this person was backing out, and I'm waiting to get into a parking spot, but they are coming down the thing, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Why don't you move? Mm-hmm. And then he blew saying, move. I said, no, you move.
Right.
I said, right. Lord, and I'm in the hood doing that too, and I'm like, Lord. So there's a gentleman that didn't look like us. He came out of the car and guided both of us so that neither one of us would hit each other. Right. And then when he drove past me, he looked at me, I looked at him, I'm like, you should have moved. And then I said, Tina, now that was very inappropriate. You're in Memphis. What if you would have gotten shot? Then people would not think that you would have said that to this man because you really don't have that personality. But that was just, in the words of Monica, that was one of them days.
It's just one of those days all the time. All the time. And I'm so glad. I'm so glad it stayed where it stayed. But Tina, I appreciate this conversation because what you've shown us is that it's not just about being seen, it's about building something that lasts. And more importantly, owning your voice while you do it. And that is what you do. You own your voice and you do everything. So to everyone watching and listening, thank you for joining us for another episode of Smoking Ice. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share, because if you don't, we can't be here. And I love you being here with me. I'm Kelly.
And I'm Tina Tilton.
Until next time, let's spark something real.
you've enjoyed Smoke and Ice with Kelly Allen. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe. Tell a friend so they too can be informed and entertained. For more information about the show, go to smokeandice.net.